Kalau kalian suka sama dunia distopia yang penuh dengan robot misterius, terus vibe Amerika tahun 90-an yang ini twisted dan ibarat kata ini ada di masa lalu tapi masa depan gitu ya, karena teknologinya makin advance gitu kan. Ini film yang menurut gue kalian jangan lewatkan kalau kalian penyuka film-film robot atau film-film distopia. This is The Electric State.
I am not dying to Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch!
I actually like this song.
Stuck on this!
The Electric State ini adalah film petualangan yang disutradarai sama duo sutradara favorit gue pribadi, ya personal ya, which adalah The Russo Brothers, Anthony and Joe Russo. Mereka ini adalah orang yang terlibat banyak di MCU. Kalau yang well known-nya adalah ya mereka terlibat di Infinity War sama Endgame gitu kan, buat yang audience common. Tapi mereka sebenarnya sudah memulai perjalanan atau cerita yang mereka bangun di MCU itu sejak The Winter Soldier, Captain America The Winter Soldier, which is film-filmnya mereka ini selalu keren di MCU. Itulah kenapa mereka ditunjuk untuk mengerjakan film ini, karena pengalaman mereka bergerak atau bermain di area film-film adaptasi yang juga banyak menggunakan aktor-aktor atau teknologi yang berhubungan dengan motion capture. Dan film The Electric State ini juga salah satu yang menggunakan teknologi itu. Dan makanya mereka yang ngerjain project film ini. Dan ini film keren banget personally menurut gue gak tahu menurut kalian.
The Bot Rebellion was ugly.
They don't eat, they don't sleep, they don't blink. I blink.
Ceritanya sendiri ini adalah adaptasi dari sebuah art book, atau ada yang bilang juga ini adalah graphic novel karya Simon Stollenhawk, which is dengan judul yang sama di Electric State. Dan ini bisa dibilang buku yang termasuk baru ya. Dan yang namanya adaptasi di sini kayaknya nggak banyak cerita yang diubah-ubah ya, seperti film-film adaptasi dari comic book. Filmnya sendiri ngeset di Amerika di alternate timeline pada tahun 1990-an, lebih tepatnya pada tahun 94, dimana kita ngikutin perjalanannya si Michelle bersama dengan robot misterius yang nyamperin dia di rumahnya yang bernama Cosmo untuk mencari tubuh dari adiknya, yang dimana kesadarannya adiknya ini ada di Cosmo ini. Dan mereka di situ ketemu sama Kit, seorang penyelundup, dan bersama dengan robotnya Herman, which adalah robot yang lucu banget. Dan akhirnya mereka masuk ke dalam yang namanya exclusive zone, yang dimana itu menjadi penjara bagi semua robot-robot, dimana robot-robot ini sebelumnya itu berkonflik lah ya, which is kalian bisa tonton sendiri lah. Dan yang bikin gue happy adalah gue dikasih kesempatan untuk bisa interview dan ngobrol-ngobrol sama 5 orang. Berarti ini 5 orang. Gue ngobrol sama 5 orang yang terlibat di film ini. Ada The Russo Brothers sendiri, Anthony and Joe Russo. Terus ada Giancarlo Esposito, which is kita tahu dia adalah Gus Gus Fring. Dan yang ketiga berdua ini ada Millie Bobby Brown dan Chris Pratt. Oke, semuanya nih bisa dibilang adalah orang di balik MCU kecuali Millie Bobby Brown. Mudah-mudahan Millie nanti masuk MCU ya. Joe Anthony and Joe Russo masuk MCU, Giancarlo Esposito jadi Sidewinder kemarin di Captain America Brave New World, dan kita tahu Chris Pratt adalah Star-Lord-nya Guardians of the Galaxy. So, seseru apa obrolan gue sama mereka-mereka ini? Langsung aja bareng gue Rian kita masuk ke dalam topik kita kali ini. Here we go. Keep exploring the multiverse.
Hi Millie, hi Chris. I'm Ryan from BCU Indonesia.
Hi, Ryan.
Hi.
Hi, I'm so happy to be talking with you today. I'm a huge fans of you both.
Oh, thank you.
Hi Giancarlo, I'm Ryan from BCU Indonesia. Great to meet you.
Hi, Ryan.
Hi Joe, hi Anthony. I'm Ryan from BCU Indonesia. Thank you so much for sharing with me. I'm a big fan. I love everything you guys do.
Thank you so
Very
much.
cool. Thank you.
And you guys doing great with the Electric State. And I always love your cameo, Joe. Anyway.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, can you give us a quick intro to the Electric State? What kind of world did you want to build and what makes this story so special?
Yeah, I mean, it's based on a graphic novel by an author named Simon Stollenhag, with stunning artwork, portraying, a retro future 1990s where robots exist and technology is more advanced than it actually was in the 1990s. It's a very immersive world. our translation to a film. We wanted to infuse it with fun and entertainment, but we also wanted to make you cry and feel things and think about things. So there's deep themes in the movie regarding technology and how technology affects us. You know, so it was a really important and special movie for us to make.
Inappropriate.
Really?
Get ready.
I am going to save my brother.
Yeah, I'm Chris Pratt. I play the character of Keats, who's a sort of low-rent smuggler living in a post-apocalyptic, you know, failed robot rebellion world in an alternate version of the 1990s, and I'm a remnant of the 80s, still hanging on, and a guy who's bit past his prime and who's been on the run for a long time. And
I'm Millie, and I play Michelle, and I am a 17-year-old orphaned child who is living with her foster dad. She's in the foster care system, and she goes on a journey when a robot turns up to her foster house, claiming to be her deceased brother, and she goes on this epic journey trying to find the human behind the robot, which claims to be her brother. So yeah, and she meets this guy.
I play Colonel Bradbury, who is coined the Butcher of Schenectady. He is the head of the bot deactivation task force, previously retired, called out of retirement to chase down Michelle and Cosmo, and you know, put them back where they both belong. Cosmo is an escaped robot, and that's what Bradbury does. He hunts metal.
Find them!
So Millie, Michelle's journey in the Electric State is emotional and intense. How did you prepare for the role that blends post-apocalyptic survival with deep family bonds like this one?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I feel a little bit used to that kind of world in my previous work. So drama and post-apocalyptic kind of, I don't know, they kind of go hand in hand for me. With Damsel and with Stranger Things, I feel pretty connected to that world, kind of like survivor mode. So I definitely felt like tied in with this movie. I kind of had that skill set maybe beforehand. The skill set, however, I did not feel like I had was you know, the improv and the comedy moments that I was really learning on this set with Chris. I was really able to learn more about mocap, things that I had never really been exposed to before. But I guess, yeah, for me, it's easier to access the kind of tender moments and the you know, the more dramatic pieces in the film, because I am used to that in terms of my previous work.
Okay, for Chris, Keith is a complex character, part guide, part protector. How did you balance his tough lone wolf energy with the heart he shows to Michelle?
Oh, well, I think just playing true to each of the beats through the course of the movie, it was all in the writing. And so, you know, there are moments when I out for myself and see her simply as a nuisance or on the best case scenario, a potential ticket out of the X. And then comes a moment where I realize that there are good people in the world. She's one of them. She inspires me to try to fight for something bigger than myself. And so I really just tried to find the truth in each of the scenes and play it as truthful as possible and allow the writing to really play out and inform me on how to be in those scenes.
You sure you want to do this?
So, Colonel Bradbury carries a lot of authority. Do you think he sees himself as a hero or a villain or something between?
I think he sees himself as neither. He's a soldier. He carries out his orders and does his mission to the best of his ability because that's what he's been trained to do. He is the best at what he does, and I think he sees himself as someone who's contributed to ending the war and saving humanity. But it's not. He doesn't feel like a hero. again, he's been retired. He doesn't really care to come out of retirement. He served his time and he's out. When he's called back, certainly something appeals to his ego that he's the best at what he does and he should come out and help. But he's fooled and tricked and lied to by a very prominent and very rich man who has his tentacles deeply rooted in technology. And so through the course of events of his journey to track down Michelle and Cosmo, he realizes that the person he's working for doesn't have good intentions at all. But more than anything, it's the final moments where he's on the battlefield and then comes up against Mr. Peanut, that he asks the ultimate question: why would you do this? You're all going to die. For what reason? And Mr. Peanut says, you know, freedom is worth it, basically paraphrasing. I would do this, even if it's going to take my life, because it's about freedom. And that, coming from a robot who's not supposed to have any emotions and any human feeling or connection, I think really gets to Colonel Bradbury. And he finally met a robot who's more human than a human, is his answer to that, and he powers down. The difference between a robot and a bot is a robot is someone that's made, and they, in our story, have have rebelled against taking orders to do all the menial labor and all the work and having nothing for themselves. And a drone is powered by a human being. So there's a different set of rules that go along with that. And we're led to believe by the propaganda in this world that robots have no emotion and that you shouldn't feel for them. You should squash them like a bug, kill them, deactivate them, put them away. And in our world, the robots have come to be something other than just emotionless robots. I tend to think that many of us as human beings, we're working on autopilot. We work on, right? So it's a saying I have. I said, don't be on autopilot. Be here with me. Be here now.
Robots helping humans.
I know. It's nuts. No offense.
Get it all the time.
So, Michelle and Keith form an unlikely duo. What was the most challenging aspect of building that bonus screen?
Oh, man.
That was not hard.
Yeah, it wasn't really I mean, it's sometimes very technical, the work, working with mocap actors, or sometimes working opposite nothing there, and maybe just trying not to laugh through scenes sometimes. Yeah. It's definitely a big job. A movie like this is several days of work, often long hours, and oftentimes through the night and stuff. So that comes with its own set of challenges, but not necessarily specific to any these characters. It's much more challenging to play opposite someone that you don't like.
Yeah.
And
that was the case.
That was the case for her, so you should probably ask her.
Yeah. No, actually, I completely agree with Chris in that, there were other aspects that were challenging but exciting, still very, very rewarding when you kind of got it right. But the bonding part for me with Chris was instant. I was very, very lucky. He's got such a warm nature. He just wants to kind of be everyone's friend, which I think is such a beautiful thing, because I think it's actually a theme in the movie. It's just like, find your friends, hold on to the ones that you kind of hold on to like a stranger's hand next to you, like connect with people, and he's so good at that. So the second I met him, we started bonding immediately. I never found that a challenge. Right now, all of us have something in common.
Okay, so this adaptation takes creative liberties with Simon Stollenhag artwork. What inspired your vision for expanding the source material?
What inspired our vision?
Yeah.
For using the source material?
Yeah, your vision for expanding the source material.
Oh, for expanding it. Well, one of the things that spoke most strongly to us about Simon's work were the themes. He was really exploring humanity's relationship with technology. And we feel like that's a very big issue in our lives today. But it's not only in our lives, it's in the lives of our children. Young people are particularly struggling with how to handle our new technology. It's more challenging for them than it is for adults, right? So we felt like Simon was lighting on such an important issue, but we really did feel like it was an issue that should be accessible to all ages. We wanted to make the story accessible to all ages because it's so relevant.
So you want to go get your brother back? I'll go with you.
This movie is a fusion of 90s nostalgia and sci-fi dystopia. Did that unique world building influence your performance as an actor?
It influenced the unique world building influenced my thought form as an actor. I couldn't see any of it because it wasn't built. It was being built as I was doing my performance somewhere in the Neurocaster. However, my imagination, what we do as actors is we use our imagination to allow ourselves to build out that world and see it as we see it. And allow an audience to see it if they have to see it through our eyes. So many times in this particular movie, I was working just with in a studio by myself, looking at the different characters I'm chasing, and then eventually putting my face in a Neurocaster, which was very constricting because I was just in a frame like this and had to not move my face whatsoever, bars on the top and bottom of my head to give them a secure place, my chin on a bar, my head on a bar, so that they could isolate all of my emotions. So I had very little to work with other than my eyes and my vocality. So it's limitation that you have to get beyond. What can take you beyond any limitation is your imagination.
This bot knows where to find my brother. I want him back.
The movie mixes nostalgia with dystopia. How did you decide which element of the past what you want to bring to the future?
You know, I think it was a lot of it had to do with our memories of the 1990s. And, you know, when we make movies, we try to make them personal. That's how we think we make the best decisions. And so we infused it with a lot of our memories of the 90s, of the music that we loved, the fashion that we liked. You know, and you know, Millie is really like a grunge girl, and Pratt is stuck in the 80s, you know, with his hair and his facial hair and his love of the Dead Milkmen, and so you know, it was just touches that you know came from our own lives that we were able to put back into the film.
When the robots deviated from their assigned task, we banished them to the electric state.
Okay, if you guys could bring one robot companion from the movie into the real life, who would it be and why?
I guess. Well, I've got kids.
Yeah.
You're here.
Yeah, that's true.
And you got me. So
That's true.
I would say.
Maybe our respective robots. I think Herman would be cool to have a friend like Herman who could like be 60 feet, 40 feet, 20 feet.
Yeah,
4 feet,
he's so
8
useful.
inches. Very useful fella.
Cosmo really, honestly, wasn't that useful.
Wasn't that useful?
No.
Yeah, and his
I mean, he
voice
tried.
didn't work. So
His voice didn't. Yeah, it was tough for him. He had a tough go. I would say I love Cosmo because if it was really a sibling of mine, I would obviously bring them into the real world. But I would say I love Penny Pal.
Yeah, she's pretty cute.
She's so cute.
She's pretty sweet.
So you guys work on a huge superhero movies. Which the Electric State character do you think will survive best in the superhero universe, other than Chris?
Ooh, I think Herman. Herman because of his size, yes, right? Herman could be very helpful in a fight.
Yeah, for sure.
How about you, Anthony?
Yeah,
Same?
I mean, it's hard not to go with Herman simply because he's got so many moves. He has lots of different sizes.
Yeah. Okay. You played some iconic villains before. If Bradbury met one of your past character, what do you think they say to each other?
Well, I think Bradbury, you know, would have a close relationship with Stan Edgar from The Boys, and so he would probably want to, you know, get some, you know, some temporary compound V to up his strength and power and take him into battle.
Okay. Just for fun, if you had to make a spin-off focus on one of side robots, which one would you pick?
A spin-off with the robots?
Penny Pal.
Yeah.
Penny Pal's fun. Gosh.
Herman would have had a great story prior to meeting Keats.
Yeah.
You know?
Also, Mr. Peanut. You know, it's like I feel like we can almost follow any of them. You know, they all have interesting stories. You know.
Right. Oh, let's hope you make it true, right, in the future.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Joe and Anthony. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
For our real fans in Indonesia, we love you guys.
Really
thank you so
appreciate it.
much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Giancarlo. It's such an honor for me to talk to you, and thank you. That's all for me.
Thank you. My pleasure.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for your
Thanks,
time.
See you, bud.
And from all your fans in Indonesia, we love you guys.
Oh,
We love
thank
you.
you.
Thank you.